Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox coming to you today with a review for Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 5, Episode 6. So I lied. You're getting the video on Monday because I thought I was going to be doing something today with Mr. And Mr. decided that he wanted to sit and watch P-Valley all day. Okay, been binge watching that. So the plans that I thought I had, I don't have any longer. I'm a little annoyed right now with that. I wanted to get out of the house. I went and took Blue for a walk. He yanked the fuck out of me. My back is hurting. I thought my wig was gonna fly off. I have provided so much entertainment for my neighbors. I mean, let me tell you something. If anything, Blue has made me very strong. I've just, the sheer strength of that dog is just out of this world. So anyway, my back is hurting. It's hot as fuck. Not as hot as my brethren out there in Los Angeles. I understand you're having a heat wave. Oh well. It's hot here from April to October. I figure you guys can take a few weeks of heat. Okay, I'm just kidding. I do feel for you. I have family there that, are older, including my father, of course, even though he has air conditioning in his home. But, there's a lot of people that are out there that are in the heat. So my heart does go out to you guys. Try to get some air. Try to get some cool air, breezes and whatnots. And if you can get out of the heat, then do that. But anyway, you guys, nigga was like, what the fuck? I'm just sitting around the house. I might as well do a video. So that is why you're getting the video today. I've wasted enough time, you guys. Let's get to it, shall we? All right, you guys. So the show starts with the argument that Wendy and Ashley had. I already told you guys how I felt about that last week. For the life of me, I don't understand why it has blown up to this proportion. Okay. I mean, it's gone from them arguing about the baby to, their husbands being successful and, Ashley being broke and Wendy calling out all of her 4 degrees and for her to call her doctor. And, it just, to me, it's childish and it's silly. On top of that, it's not making Wendy look good. Like I told you guys last week. Even if you do have a point that you're standing on, the level that is gone, like the points that you're making, there's not even, it doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about right now. Okay. You start just throwing out shit, just trying to hurt somebody. And Ashley has thick fucking skin. The shit bounces off of her and she has that really uncanny ability to just piss you the fuck off. Okay. Because it's always just like, she has the audacity to act like you've done something, when she's done something. Not necessarily in this case, but that's just kind of how Ashley is. And that's why she gets under a lot of people's skin, because she will still do the things that, gets on your nerves real bad. She don't care. But then when it's flipped around, she kind of acts like she's innocent. So again, not in this case, but I'm so over this foolery. And like Monique said, if it was really that big of a deal, then you should have probably just stayed on home. Like I said, Wendy is trying to get on the show. She probably didn't know that she had that option, to say that she wanted to bring her baby, or even to say that she had the option to stay home. But if you're trying to become a person on the show, an actual cast member, then you've got to kind of go along with it. So that's probably why Wendy is the most upset. Okay. So anyway, we finally settled that shit down. Candace was like, we trying to have a good time. When she gets Wendy by herself, she tells her like, girl, when you called her a fake phony bitch, I just kind of clenched up a little bit. And Wendy was like, was it too much? Okay. That right there should let you know that Wendy was trying to bring it. The producer said, bring it. Okay. When you get on the show, and don't be afraid to be confrontational. If you feel a certain way, be strong in how you are. That when she said, was it too much? That's kind of why I feel like they probably have prepped her up to be this way. Yes, she's very strong, opinionated and all that. And we get that. That's fine. But I'm just saying that, that was kind of like, oh, was it too much? Like, are they going to not give me my champagne glass? Candace says, I want the girls to be able to like you. Okay. So maybe just pull it back a little bit. And you don't even really know Ashley. How can you call her fake and phony? Well, because we've been watching her for 4 seasons, but she can't say that. Anyway, yeah, I don't feel like this is the best way for Wendy to be accepted. And that's pretty much what Candace was trying to tell her, but whatever. On to day 2. So the next morning, everybody lazily gets up. Giselle and Robin are acting like the high school girls that they are, jumping on Monique's bed in the guest home. Candace is complaining to Wendy of her night of no sleep. All right, that it was hot as fuck in her room, it was bugs, and she couldn't do this, she couldn't do that. Monique is telling Chris about Ashley and Wendy. They're confrontational. Their confrontation, and Chris is is intrigued, and Ashley is with the baby. Okay, but like I said, lazily the girls all come downstairs. Monique had robes made for them with their names stitched on it. They all look very nice. We're gonna have breakfast. Okay, Monique goes on and on about how she cooks pancakes so well. They look a certain way, they taste a certain way. She's gonna give them some fantastic pancakes. Well, Giselle never wanted to back down from a challenge. Oh, she likes her pancakes better. She thinks that she can do better. So we're going to have a competition. Where's Ashley? Well, Ashley is upstairs with the baby, so she hasn't come down yet. That's probably getting on Wendy's nerves too. But you know what? Wendy trying to go with the flow. Anyway, the competition. So we're making these pancakes. I must admit, I'm just like Monique. I can't eat ugly shit. Okay, not when it comes to pancakes, because that don't really matter. But the presentation of food, in and of itself, like sometimes I'm grossed out just by looking at it if it ain't right on the plate. So I can kind of understand what Monique is saying. Yet and still, it's just pancakes. I don't give a fuck what they look like. Giselle says Monique's pancakes taste like olive oil, which sounds very gross to me, but they look beautiful. Giselle's pancakes looks like probably how most of our pancakes look, but evidently they tasted pretty good, but not to Karen.
Giselle's pancakes taste like doo-doo. Not that I know what doo-doo tastes like, but they look like doo-doo. So I'm thinking that if they look like doo-doo, then
I was like, oh, Karen, don't let me find out that you've been fooling around with Uncle Jessup's hind parts. What do elderly ass taste like? Shit. Anyway, I'm not sure if Ashley has come down by now, but let me tell you about Ashley upstairs. When she was with the baby, she's trying to contact Michael, and Michael's not answering the phone, so she's talking to the baby. Oh, I don't know where your daddy is. Oh, he had a big night last night with, the fellas. They all came in town, closing big deals. Okay, making that goo-wop. I'm thinking to myself, like, who talks to their baby? Like, yeah, we talk to our baby, but the fact that Ashley is talking to the baby and telling the baby about some shit about the damn daddy closing deals and everything, it feels like they're leading us. And you guys have been watching me for a long time, right? I don't like when I can clearly tell that they're leading us with a story, because in general nobody gives a fuck about Michael closing deals. He's a businessman. That's what we would think he would do anyway. But the fact that Ashley is sitting there talking to the baby and saying that, I was just like, this sounds like a Planet story. And I'm starting to get annoyed because I can see where this is going. And then sure enough, Bravo tells us 12 hours later that Candace is telling Giselle that she got a text message that Michael was out hoeing around on them Potomac streets. She doesn't know what to do. So I just was like, why do I feel like I don't believe this story? And we love us a good story about Michael and all his boyfriends, but I'm giving it a side eye. But whatever. Getting back down there to the competition, after a real close race, it seems that Monique has won, beat out Giselle by 4 points, because even though her presentation was very nice, the pancakes was just okay. Whatever. What are we doing today? We're going fishing. I said, oh, well, this should be show fillerish. This episode is painstakingly long. Now, before they go fishing, Monique is talking to Chris, and Chris is telling her that he's kind of changed the plans. I guess they were going to have a cookout because the husbands are coming the next day. They're going to have a cookout, but, Chris don't feel like doing all that, so he thinks he's just going to get it catered, And Monique is annoyed about that because the plans have changed. As I watch further in the show, now I'm realizing that Monique was probably pissed about that because she's feeling like, here once again, the nigga got to take the easy route. He can't never do what he say he gonna do, because he just so lazy, and that's why he got his not for lazy mom's wife who takes care of everything. It wasn't really clear at that point, but later on the show when we talk about it, you'll be able to see why she was annoyed with that. Because I was just like, well, if it's just catering, it's just catering. Why not? But, I think she was more feeling like he just can't never just go on and do it himself. Always got to be hiring help. He's so helpless. So whatever. She says that she's not going to argue about it though, because it's her birthday and, you know, she just wants to have a good time. So she's going to compartmentalize that, you know, and put that right next to the Candace gets on my fucking nerves box too. And eventually that's going to fall off of the shelf, okay? And then she's going to have a real big mess. I said, well, she's never going to, you know, she's never going to get rid of that box that is Chris. So we know who that will be. And then Giselle, you know, she goes and gets Wendy. She says that's her soror, and she just wants to have a, you know, sit and have a conversation with her because, you know, she thought that she liked Wendy, but then after yesterday, you know, now she's not really too sure. So she's going to try to, you know, figure out what's going on with Wendy. So Wendy and her go for a walk, and Wendy tells her that she feels like maybe it was just the fact that she had to go through a lot to try to get here, okay? And that she was really annoyed with the fact that, you know, she had to leave her baby and she misses her baby just like anybody else would miss their new baby. And she kind of felt like people kind of diminished the fact that, you know, she's a third time mom and she should or shouldn't feel a certain way about leaving her baby. So that was kind of how she felt. Now, Giselle says, well, I think that your anger was misdirected. And I was just like, okay, Giselle is going to tell her, like, girl, you just kind of mad at the situation, not anybody in particular. You just kind of feel like you could have handled this differently. You could have brought your baby. You had a choice and you weren't offered that, or you didn't know it, or you didn't think to be assertive in saying that I want to bring my baby. That's what I'm thinking that Giselle's going to tell her. Giselle says, oh girl, you shouldn't be mad at Ashley about that then, okay? You should be mad at Karen. I was just like, no, don't be mad at Ashley, be mad at Karen. Because Karen said that, you know, you went to like some sort of CNN correspondence school or something like that. And Wendy was like, what? I have 4 degrees. I'm a professor at Johns Hopkins. I was like, here we go with the degrees, you guys. I mean, mad respect to people who have all them degrees. All right. It is definitely hard work. I have degrees myself. Okay. But people that have to keep reminding you of their degrees and stuff like that would wear on my nerves, because we got it. We've seen you. Respect for what you've accomplished and everything. You just don't keep on saying it. So anyway, she tells her that. I mean, I was like, Giselle, did you really just tell this girl don't be mad at one person, be mad at them? Just so childish. And then Wendy takes the bait. So I was just like, oh my God. That Giselle is a mess. But whatever, let's go fishing. They all go down to the fishing place. You know, they go and rent a couple of canoes and paddle boats and whatnots, I guess. They're going to get out there in the water. Monique gives them a real quick lesson on how to bait the hook of the fishing pole with the worm. You know, the girls are appropriately grossed out, you know, oh my God, like, I'm not doing that, like, you know, they want to go home. I was like, you've been there a day and a half. I mean, yes, we all love our comforts of our home, but I'm just like, where did you guys think when you were going to the lake? Anyway, I mean, I ain't baiting no fucking hook either. That would have grossed me out too. But you see what I'm saying? I'm just like, you guys just kind of go with the flow, you know. Everybody knows you guys are all cosmopolitan and, you know, ladies of the world and want to do all these things. But we get out there, we doing some fishing. Some of them get out on the paddle boats. I mean, the canoes or the paddle canoes, and Ashley and Wendy sit and stay behind on the dock along with Karen and Giselle, and they have a conversation. You know, Wendy says, look, maybe I was putting 20 on 10, you know, maybe I was doing too much, and I shouldn't have approached you that way. And Ashley was like, oh, well, does this sound like an apology? Here we go with these apologies. That shit gets on my nerves. If you keep demanding it from me, you're not gonna get it, okay? But Ashley does say, okay, well, let me just say that I apologize for keeping the behavior going. I said, okay. All right. And then Wendy says, okay, and I apologize for, you know, being team too much. And then they kind of have a moment of vulnerability, and they agree that, you know, being a new mom is difficult, and they kind of feel like they've lost their way a little bit, you know, so they kind of commiserate on the new mom thing. It's not that much different for a third time mom. You know, each baby is different. I mean, I've only had 2, but each time has been different than the time before. So, I mean, I get what Wendy is saying. So good. You know, Karen and Giselle are listening and they're feeling like, okay, maybe they've turned a page. Even though Karen said,
Wendy has thoroughly confused me on this trip, because how you go from, bitch, I'm gonna fuck you up, to, I'm so sorry, I don't understand. So how about this? I'm going to sit and watch what else Wendy brings on this trip.
Karen got her good eye, this one. On Wendy. Okay, Karen doesn't know that Wendy has been programmed by Giselle for her to come after you. Okay, you're gonna find out soon enough, though. As far as Ashley and Wendy are concerned, it looks like a crisis was averted there. And so they're going back to the lake house. Giselle still can't get any service, but Ashley is able to talk to Michael finally, and he tells her that he tied one on too much last night, that he was hanging with the boys and everything. She said, honey, you can't do that any longer. We don't drink, we've been on the wagon for about a year. I was like, maybe you have, but clearly not Michael. The baby is fussy while she's talking to Michael. I was like, oh, is that an omen? Maybe little baby Dean knows that his daddy is out there with some fuck shit. We see Karen. She's talking to Uncle Jessup.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you see me? Oh, honey, I didn't sleep good last night. I missed you, by the way.
Uncle Jessup was just like, oh, yeah, okay. Okay. I was just like, Karen, can you stop fishing for compliments from Uncle Jessup? Clearly, he is not the type. Okay, I don't really feel like there's anything that we need to be worried about with Karen and Uncle Jessup's relationship, but I feel like he feels like she's just trying to do too much for the show. If he's never been that way before, like, he's not going to be all lovey-dovey on camera. No, it's always just like, oh, Uncle Jessup doesn't love me. He doesn't say he loves me. It's very concerning. I don't know what's going on with Uncle Jessup. He just... Girl, if you don't cut it out. Anyway, that's how I feel about them. They're fine, you guys. But, okay, so it's lazy day after, they went to the canoeing and fishing. Now they're back at the house. They're sitting around the pool. And the girls are just about to go stir crazy. I'm thinking to myself, like, man, a trip to the lake right now would be so nice. I would love that. Okay. But then I start thinking about it and I'm going like, well, you know what? I would love to go with my real friends. I don't want to go with some bitches that I have to tolerate for a check on the show. Okay. So maybe that's why they feel like, why are we just sitting around talking? We don't really even like to look at each other. We can work with each other, but it's like, what are we doing? Candace is annoyed with Monique. Okay, she's a bird. She doesn't want to talk to her. Wendy says she's going a little baddie. Giselle wants to go home. I want Giselle to go home too. Imagine that. But anyway, it's just a joke. Don't be like, yeah, you just be coming for Giselle. It's a joke. What are we gonna do? Well, Monique goes inside. She's cooking the food or whatever. Then she comes out and tells them the food is ready. They go inside. They gonna eat. They're just eating and looking around. And it's just sort of like, womp, womp, womp. Nothing to do. So let's make up something, shit. Let's have a pageant. Okay, we got two pageantry girls here, Candace and Ashley, and it's cute enough, you guys. They do a walk, they've definitely got the pageant walk on lock. Then they do a question segment. Oh, Candace, how does it feel to be so short? She says, oh, it's taught her to reach for things in high places. And, oh, Ashley, how does it feel to have such a large forehead? Ashley says, well, in some cultures that means that you're smart and beautiful. And, I am both. So, it was cute enough. Karen, though, didn't like what Giselle had to say.
Giselle, you know better. Anybody judge you on your stovepipe legs? Let me judge your ass.
And Karen got a lot to say about the Giselle in these confessionals these days, doesn't she? Next segment, talent. Ashley gets up there with this afflicted ass twerk, okay, torn booty hole and all. Candace gets up there and sings, the very tired happy birthday. She is our resident cruise singer in the group, so whatever. And then after they, go on and tally up the votes, Candace wins. Okay. So it was very, very cute. And, they seem to get along well there. And that's all we want. Let's just have a good time. Let's not talk about each other, but then we wouldn't have a show, right? Now, they're going to go to dinner and it's going to be a little while. So everybody just kind of go do what you do. Go into your room and get ready. As everybody is getting ready, drawing in eyebrows and doing their own makeup, we see Candace. She's just about dressed and she gets a couple of text messages. She looks at a text message and I'm reading the text message. It's sort of blurry, but I can make out that, one of the girls' husbands was out on the town at a bar and he was, with a bunch of strippers, several strippers. And he was telling them that he had a wife and a boyfriend. All right. And then a picture comes through and it's Michael. And oh, Candace is just like, oh my God. Oh my God, I don't want this. What is this coming to my phone? Looks at the producers and was just like, we're not going to show the person's name, are we? No, we're not going to do that. Okay. Well, that's good enough. I'm thinking to myself, like, why are we showing any of this? But that's why I feel like it's planted. Okay. But Candace is so distraught, she doesn't know what to do. She rushes down and talks to Giselle about it. That's what we saw earlier when she's talking to Giselle. I'm thinking about all of the people on the show. You go to Giselle, like you would have gone to Karen maybe. Karen's in the same house as you. Karen is not hardly as messy as Giselle is. But you go straight to the fucking worst person. I mean, if she didn't have a megaphone glued to her head, I would think that it was her mouth. So I said, here we go with Miss Run Till That. So she goes and tells Giselle, you know, that her girlfriend sent her a text message that said that she has a friend that's a bartender and that Michael was in there. And, you know, like I said, he was with several strippers and he was saying that he had a wife and a boyfriend and he was trying to invite everybody to come back to the hotel room. I mean, she starts saying more than what I read, but maybe they didn't show us all of that, even though it feels like this is, like I said, a planted story. But, you know, she's had so many problems with the Darby. She don't want no more drama with them. She doesn't know what to do. How about you just didn't say nothing? You didn't see it with your own eyes. And I thought I read with the text message that the other friend didn't even see it, that she was sent a message from a friend that's a bartender. But now all of a sudden, you know, it's the friend who saw it. Okay, so I was just like, you talking about a story that's potentially twice removed. You wasn't even there. This is something that honestly you didn't even need to say. Okay, if you didn't see it and your friend didn't see it, but she did say her friend saw it. But originally I thought the friend didn't see it. But anyway, if you didn't see it, why are you know, coming off all the drama with Ashley? So that's why I feel like this is planted. I'm gonna keep telling you guys that because I ain't fucking stupid. You guys think I'm stupid, but I'm not. Maybe y'all don't, the rock stars, y'all. Rocky love y'all. I'm talking about them motherfuckers down at Bravo. But you know, of course, Giselle, she's like, oh, you know, we have to tell her. Of course you do, Giselle. Of course you do. They get on the van. They're going to a crab place. I was just like, you guys are extremely overdressed for a crab place. First of all that shit snapping around and popping and food flying everywhere. You don't want to have on your designer duds for this, you know. And even when they walked in, people were like, what the fuck they got on? You know, why they all done up? But, you know, we got a TV show to shoot. So whatever. They go and sit outside, and that's real nice because it's on the water. And I was cracking up when Ashley said that, you know, the yellow stuff was mustard. And then they was like, mustard? Yeah, my mom always said it was natural mustard. I said, boy, we as moms, boy, we be making these kids eat, don't we? And mama said, we ain't got no fucking money to be wasting on some, you know, you gonna eat this shit. Okay, literally. When she finds out that it's really just poop, you know, she's grossed out. But girl, you've been eating it all this time and it's been fine. Just continue on. Wendy tells them that, you know, she's made nice with Ashley. You know, she apologized if she was doing too much the other day. You know, it just was kind of just her trying to release the fact that it was stressful for her trying to get there. So be my friend now, girls. I'm nice again. You know, they're all just like, yes, you know, trust me, we know. You know, Robin shares that Juan didn't even send the boys to school. You know, I was just like, child, I mean, you know, I'm married too. I know how that goes. It's just like one day you couldn't just get these kids up. You so used to me doing it every morning. You want to sleep in another hour or so, you know, and you just decide to not let the kids go. So that I would have been annoyed about that. Okay. And then Monique, you know, oh, I know, you know, we just so busy all the time. You know, we do everything. I was like, girl, we know you busy. Okay. Not for lazy mom. She's like, when I leave a whole staff with Chris because, okay, the nigga can't do shit. That's what she wanted to say. Okay. And Robin says, yeah, she knows being an athlete's wife, they can really get spoiled and not do anything. You know, that Juan was humbled when they went broke, and maybe Chris is gonna have to be broke too to become humbled. I said, well, he, you know, he may not change. It's not even necessarily the athlete that does that. I'm sure that the more money you have, the more, you know, privileged you are. But it's really just kind of ladies. I'm telling you this from experience. You know, kind of how when you set up a relationship, the things that you expect or require from your then boyfriend is kind of how it is going to be from then on. Okay. I made the mistake you know, Miss ain't no tyrant or shit, but you know, some shit that he does that gets on my nerves, and he's just done it repetitively over the years. This is just what he is. This is how he is, because this is how he's always been. Okay, shit that's real serious that needs to be changed, I feel like he makes some sort of effort to do it, but little things, certain things, he just does that. And I think maybe he probably feels the same way about me about certain things. But so what I'm saying is, when you get into a relationship with somebody, like the things that really matter, okay, you gonna have to make sure that shit is real clear at the beginning. All right, because when you start habits, them shits is hard to break. Take it from a bitch that's been married 22 years. I'm telling you. Okay. So just kind of take that and just put that in there. Just lock it on in there. Okay. I'm trying to save y'all a lot of heartache and pain. All right. So we get on, you know, everybody's eating and talking, and Giselle asked Karen, you know, how's Uncle Jessup? You know, is he missing you? And, you know, Karen was just like, yes, you know, I talked to Uncle Jessup earlier today. I said, I missed you. You know, he said he missed me too. But, you know, Uncle Jessup is really at the point in his life where, you know, he's just grateful for another day. It's like, well, what is this motherfucker, Father Time? Like, what? How old is he? Okay, that he feeling grateful for. I mean, we should all feel grateful. You act like this nigga is 95 years old. But she was just like, so, you know, when I tell him that I miss him, I love him, you know, he says, oh, golfing was great today. I don't really put the two together, but I mean, okay. Wendy was annoyed by that. She feels like Karen is, you know, putting on or whatever for that. She's not real sincere, genuine in what's going on with her and Uncle Jessup. That's because it ain't really nothing going on, y'all. Anyway, then Monique asked Ashley, how's Michael? And she says, he's good. You know, he went out last night with the fellas, you know, some people in town. He had a big night, you know, he closing deals and whatnots. And of course, you know, Giselle and Candace, they over there shooting each other looks and all of that. That goddamn Giselle was about to come. She was so excited with, you know, the news that Candace is about to drop. You know, Candace is just like, I just wish I didn't have to tell her. I said, how about you didn't tell her? Even if you felt like you needed to tell her, okay, I'll give you that. You're on a show. It's going to come out anyway. Okay. I mean, on the show or the reunion, possibly, because they really can bury a story if they want to. That's why we didn't know anything about Giselle trying to make up a story with Monique. Okay. So they can if they want to, but still fine. If you feel like you wanted to tell the story, why did you have to tell them at the table in front of everybody? Seems like you would have pulled her to the side and been like, girl, I just want to tell you, okay, your man out there hoeing around, okay, with strippers and boyfriends and bartenders and, you know, hotels. But instead, you know, Candace is just sort of like, Ashley. And I was just like, well, here we go. Even though the previews for next week look like Ashley probably handled it okay. All right. But we didn't see. They didn't let us see the after effects of that. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm telling you guys, that story feels very planted to me. All right, you guys. So anyway, let me go on in here and take me a Motrin because a bitch back hurt. All right. Make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel's for itsrox. Everything else I do will be in the bottom bar. All right. So I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.